But I mean, I just wish Lonnie would tell the truth. You bisexual. Why can't anybody just be honest? They're waiting for Chrissy Teigen to get plastic surgery and end up Jackie O so that they can be roommates and make musicals together. Let's just be real.
Okay.
He'd rather spend time with John Legend than any of these
Welcome to the Gossip Channel. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We're growing with you and because of you. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that milestone, a special prize will be waiting for you. Stay tuned. And now, let's get into the topic. Child, I hate to break it to Ms. J. Hud, but didn't we already warn her that Common might not be the one? Now, word on the street is that he's already moved on with somebody else and left Jen hanging without a clue. Ain't this the same man who was just out here praising her like she was his queen a few days ago? Now, people are whispering that another woman is warming his bed. And to make it messier, he's allegedly throwing shade at J. Hud after sneaking around on her. All this because she supposedly turned down his proposal last year? Or maybe Common is just flipping the script now, trying to distract folks since the rumors about him allegedly playing for the other team keep creeping back up. Baby, it is straight chaos in that camp right now. And let's keep it real, Common has had some of the baddest women in Hollywood on his arm. Besides Jennifer Hudson, he's been linked to Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Tiffany Haddish, Erykah Badu, Kim Jones, Ava DuVernay, Simone Bozeman, Jaguar Wright, and even Angela Rye. That's like a Hollywood highlight reel. But here's the gag. Not a single one of those women ever stayed, and everybody's been saying for years that Common just can't seem to keep a woman around. I mean, we're talking about a man who openly admitted that once the sparks fade, he just vanishes. He even confessed he's hooked on the chase, addicted to love, not the bedroom action, obsessed with the thrill of the beginning, then bored out of his mind once things get real and serious. So of course, J. Hud thought her magic could flip the script and make Common settle down for once. But sis, that's pure delusion. To be fair, when they first got together, Common swore he changed. He said therapy made him ready for marriage and even told folks that if he ever tied the knot, it would be with J. Hud. But lately, fans are spotting red flags. Less public appearances, weird body language, and cryptic little posts from Jennifer that got everybody whispering about cracks in the fairy tale. Allegedly, Common might already be chasing a new distraction, and the buzz got louder after reports popped up saying he's been spotted out without J. Hud, looking just a little too cozy with other women. Nothing's been confirmed, but let's be real, this is Common we're talking about, so nobody would be shocked if the rumors turned out true. What's even messier, though, are the whispers about him allegedly trash-talking Jennifer behind her back, claiming he can't even stand her anymore. Like, what went down so bad that he's out here allegedly spilling dirt on J. Hud? Word on the curb is that he's bitter because she supposedly turned down his proposal a couple months back. And now he's walking around with a bruised ego. When word first spread that Common was ready to propose, insiders close to J. Hud let it slip that she wasn't about to say yes, because she just wasn't ready. And honestly, the first reason makes sense. Common has lived up to his name when it comes to women, and Jen wasn't blind to that. Sure, he swept her off her feet in the beginning, but deep down she was hesitant about his long list of Hollywood flings and didn't want to make a rushed decision she might regret. But let's be real, Jen already knew who Common was before she signed up for this ride. His dating history has been public knowledge for years, so acting shocked now feels a little off. Still, sources say there's more to it. Allegedly, Jen's real hesitation came from her own past trauma. After surviving that messy and toxic relationship with David Otunga, she reportedly still feels like marriage just isn't for her. No matter who's proposing, Jen was reportedly too scared to commit, swearing she wouldn't marry anyone or rush into another relationship after everything she went through with David. And when J. Hud calls that relationship toxic, Oh, we know exactly the kind of damage she's talking about. Insiders claim Common kept trying to reassure her, saying that despite all his history with famous women, he was ready to lock in and stay for the long haul. But Jen wasn't buying it. She remembered being stuck in an engagement for 9 years before, and she made it clear she wasn't about to risk ending up with another broken marriage and starting all over again. And honestly, that might have been the breaking point. Maybe things between them never bounced back after that. And maybe Common finally realized there was no real future for the two of them. But you know what? That's not even the wildest part of this whole drama. People out here are saying the real reason Common couldn't stand J. Hud anymore is because he allegedly doesn't even like women like that. And he got tired of faking it. Now, y'all remember when his ex Jaguar Wright spilled the tea? She straight up said she wished folks knew the real truth about Common, that he doesn't actually love black women, he just uses them for status and clout. According to her, he's always chasing the spotlight while leaving the women he dates looking played. Jaguar even went as far as saying that Common would rather be with men and that every woman who's been with him knows it. And here's the kicker. Jag said it's real suspicious that with all the famous women he's been linked to, not one of them has ever bragged about his bedroom game. Maybe it's because these women are just classy enough to keep it moving and focus on positive things. Or maybe Jaguar wasn't lying at all, and Common really does prefer playing for the other team, allegedly. And get this, somebody even came forward with their own first-hand account to back up the whispers. They said a friend's husband was at a Hollywood event this past summer with his wife, who's in the industry, and Common spent nearly the entire night glued to him, chatting him up nonstop, while the man's wife was busy working the event. Now tell me that doesn't sound suspicious. The wildest part? The dude didn't even realize who Common was until later that night when his wife clued him in. And just so you know, the guy is white, fine as ever, model type handsome. Anyway, around 3 a.m. when his wife texted him to meet her outside, Common allegedly leaned in and asked him straight up, "So, what are you doing later tonight?" The guy was stunned and told him, "Going home with my wife," but said the whole vibe was super awkward. I even pressed him like, "Are you sure you didn't misread it?" And he swore up and down that it was exactly how it sounded. On top of that, whispers have long claimed Common struggles with his sexuality, allegedly tied to him being taken advantage of by a man in the past. Some people believe those experiences left him conflicted and maybe even explain why his connections with women never seem to last. I can't confirm all these rumors about Common's private preferences, but let's not act like Jennifer doesn't have her own messy history. Some folks are even saying maybe J. Hud is the real problem, because over the years, it looks like she struggles to keep a man too. Her situation with David Otunga was straight up chaotic, and he even accused her of stepping out on him with music producer Molly Music. Now, Jennifer never confirmed if anything actually happened, but things blew up after that. In court, she filed a protective order against David, claiming he was so jealous that he'd blow up her phone non-stop while she was in the studio in Chicago. And when she didn't pick up, she said David went as far as having their son try to secretly film her, just so he could prove she was romantically involved with Molly. That protective order laid out all the dirty details of how toxic things had gotten. Jennifer also claimed that David was becoming more and more aggressive, threatening both her and their son. But David clapped back, saying Jennifer was flat out lying, and because she had more pull in the industry, he ended up taking the brunt of the backlash. He even insisted that he had been their child's main caregiver since day one, since Jennifer was always on the road, totally contradicting her legal filings, where she painted herself as the primary parent. David also flipped the script, saying Jennifer forced him to pick family over his career, then later turned around and accused him of freeloading. And because Jen accused him of some very serious things, the police actually launched an investigation. But a few months later, David was cleared. After that, Jennifer dropped the order of protection herself, but only on the condition that David never set foot on her property again.
Type of person that never like really settles with somebody, maybe he's like a, you know, he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower.
Pattern I found myself in, and what was called love addiction, who my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and this that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that.
The whole thing was pure courtroom chaos. David swore up and down that Jen was abusing her power to make him look like the villain, while she was really the one moving foul. He even warned people that Jennifer wasn't the sweet image she shows the public, calling her the real monster behind closed doors. And honestly, maybe Common got a glimpse of that same dark side of J. Hud and decided he couldn't handle it anymore. On top of that, there are whispers that Jennifer allegedly started acting like Common was beneath her, simply because she makes more money than him. Child, if that's true, it's a sad twist, because J. Hud walked into this relationship knowing exactly who Common was and what he came with. At this point, though, nobody really knows the full truth, just a storm of messy claims flying everywhere. And let's not forget, Common has always had that reputation of dipping out when things get real. Some fans are now saying Jennifer should have known better, because every woman before her has walked away with the same story. But what makes this situation different is how quick the switch-up felt. One minute he's calling J. Hud his forever, the next minute there are whispers of him cozying up to somebody new and allegedly bad-mouthing her behind her back. That's not just messy, that's downright cold. People online are debating whether this was just a classic case of Common being Common, or if Jennifer really did push him away with her diva energy. Either way, the streets are eating this drama up, and both of their reputations are taking a hit right now. Now the T-blogs are running wild, saying Common's sudden shift might be less about Jennifer and more about him finally letting his true self slip out. Folks are pointing to all those past rumors about his preferences, stacking them up next to these new stories of him allegedly chasing men at Hollywood events. Whether it's true or not, people love a messy headline, and Common is giving them plenty to chew on. Meanwhile, Jennifer isn't helping her case either. Those cryptic posts she's been dropping on socials have fans convinced she's either heartbroken or trying to throw subliminal shots back at him. Screenshots of her captions are already circulating with people saying, oh, she's definitely talking about Common right here. And once the internet locks in on a theory, it's hard to shake it off. But here's where it gets even uglier. Insiders are whispering that Jennifer and Common's split wasn't just about romance, but about ego battles. Allegedly, Common hated feeling like the smaller star next to an EGOT winner like J. Hud, while Jennifer didn't like that he couldn't match her stability. That clash of pride might have been the nail in the coffin for their relationship. Some say Jennifer was tired of carrying the weight and felt like Common was just another distraction, while others believe Common was embarrassed by constantly living in her shadow. If that's true, then no amount of therapy or proposals could have saved them. The tension was always simmering underneath, and once it boiled over, it was only a matter of time before it all blew up in public. At the end of the day, this whole saga proves that not every Hollywood love story is as perfect as it looks on red carpets. Common might be out here smiling for the cameras, but the rumors around his private life won't stop following him. And Jennifer, she might be posting like she's unbothered, but the internet is convinced she's been shading him left and right. Whether it's his alleged wandering eye, his supposed struggles with commitment, or her own history of messy relationships, this breakup was bound to explode sooner or later. Now both of them are stuck in the court of public opinion, with fans dissecting every move and every post. One thing's for sure though, this isn't the last we're gonna hear about Jennifer Hudson and Common, because when it comes to Hollywood drama, the receipts always come out eventually. We don't really know if Common actually cheated, if he's slipping back into his old habits, or if J. Hud herself is part of the problem. Truth is, they might even still be together, and all this talk could just be smoke with no fire. But chilly, the drama is too juicy to ignore. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Gossip channel so you never miss the tea.